Earth or some distant alien planet, these trees seem impossibly huge. Here are the 15 largest trees on planet Earth. Number 15. Chiwak Giant. The Chiwak Giant is a western red cedar, and it's the tallest tree in Canada. It's near the Chiwak Lake, which is in the 182 feet tall, has a diameter in excess of 20 feet, and has almost 16,000 cubic feet of wood, which is enough to produce 450 telephone poles. Luckily, it'll never be used for that purpose because it's in a protected area which was created in 1971. This was deemed necessary because on Vancouver Island, at least 87% of the old-growth forests have already been logged. And if measures weren't taken, all of the others, including the Chiwak Giant, would almost certainly have been chopped down too. Number 14. Wisteria. Wisteria trees are some of the most in-demand plants around the world, and are native to China, Korea, Japan, and parts of the US. While you might normally see them growing in backyards or creeping up house walls, if they're cared for properly, they can become enormous. One of the largest in the world, and certainly the most spectacular, is the Ashikaga Flower Park in Japan. It's 144 years old, and now covers an area about half an acre. The vines that hang from the tree can become so heavy when in full bloom that it's not able to support itself, so a network of steel pylons is required to allow it to flourish like this. The canopy is simply stunning, and when sunlight shines through, it illuminates everything beneath in a warm pink and purple glow, making it one of the most popular botanical attractions in the world. Number 13. Dorner Fir. The Dorner fir in Coos County Forest, Oregon, is a coastal Douglas fir, and at just over 327 feet tall, it's the tallest known non-redwood tree in the world. It's a surprise that it managed to grow to this height because the vast majority of the big trees in Oregon were cut down to satisfy demands from the construction industry. This individual tree was only to loggers and now is expressly protected from suffering a similar fate. Thought to be around 450 to 500 years old, it has a diameter of 11.5 feet, which is by no means the widest known Douglas fir, and suggests that it's quite possible there's an even larger one somewhere out there that one day may be discovered and take the Dorner's fir crown. Number 12. Lagoa Christmas Tree. While we all have different trees and shrubs in our backyards, there's one type that unites millions around the world each year: the Christmas tree. You may have seen ones that appear to be gigantic, such as the one at Rockefeller Center, but these pale in comparison to the one that's displayed each year in Rio de Janeiro. The Lagoa Christmas tree is the largest floating Christmas tree in the world and is just shy of 279 feet tall. It forms the centerpiece of the city's celebrations, and incredibly, the star on top weighs 2.5 tons. It floats around the bay during December of every year, and is truly a sight to behold, especially with the nightly firework displays that surround it. Number 11. Centurion. Centurion, which is a Eucalyptus regens, is the tallest tree in Australia. It's in southern Tasmania, and at more than 327 feet tall, it's also the largest flowering plant and hardwood tree in the world. It gets its name from being the 100th noble tree to have been found by Tasmania's Forestry Commission, and it's only still standing by pure chance. It's surrounded by a secondary forest because virtually all of the other trees from the original forest have either been cut down or destroyed by fire. It itself suffered fire damage in early 2019, which created a new hollow in the base of its trunk. But for now, it seems to have survived and continues to grow. Access to the tree is limited to protect it from accidental damage, and researchers believe it has far more to go before it reaches its maximum potential height. Number 10. Tane Mohuta. Hidden within the Waipoua rainforest on the North Island of New Zealand is a tree that's not only huge, but has a deep spiritual significance for the local community. Known as